Well, it's all well and good doing a bit of fishing, but this morning a friend off Facebook just dropped me off this lovely little nanagai with a line. So there's a nice little fish for dinner. I didn't even have to wet a line. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. Well, this is something a bit different. This is called rain. We haven't seen any of this for about, I reckon about 3 months. First bit of rain we've had in all that time. And makes it a little bit miserable for living on board, but it'll give the boat a bit of a wash. I'll get out and give it a bit of a clean up tomorrow and wash a bit of the salt off, and yeah. Actually, some of my ropes were getting that stiff that I had to give them a drink of salt water the other day. They're just getting really stiff, so this will help loosen them up a bit too. Anyway, you've got to take whatever you get out here. Oh, good morning, dudes. Work day today. I'm editing videos at the moment. Just something I have to do. Every video that you watch, 14-15 minute video, probably takes me 5 or 6 hours to stitch together. Not complaining, it's my hobby. I love doing it and it gives me something to do on the boat. But look, you can really help me by subscribing. If you've subscribed to the channel, it makes it a lot easier for other people to find these vids as well. So hope you like them, hope you're having a good time, and yeah, back to work for me. Cheers, dudes. Well, I've got the dinghy anchored up off a bit, and it was a wet day yesterday, so we spent it on the boat. Today we're going to find a little track and head across to, I think it's Balding Bay. So I bought a pair of walking shoes and some socks, and we'll go and follow this little trail across to another little spot. Let's go. Looks like the track starts from here. There's a ants' nest obviously been blown out of the tree with the wind we've had, and the ants have all left home. Good the way they stick all the leaves together, plenty of building materials. Radical Bay that way, Balding Bay this way, 1/2 kilometre. I bet you the bushes really enjoyed all the rain we've had over the last day or so. It was very dry here before that. Well, that's Balding Bay you can see down there. I'm not going to walk down because if I do, I've got to walk all the way back up. And I think that's enough exercise for an old dude for one day. So I'm going to stay on the high ground and make my way back down to Horseshoe Bay. Looking out to sea there, I can see there's quite a bit of swell on. So yeah, I'm glad we're in the lee of Magnetic and riding pretty comfortably down in Horseshoe Bay. It looks pretty ordinary out to sea. Anyway, back we go. Coffee time now, I think. Might be on my own, but I still eat pretty well. A little bit of pasta tonight, a bit of spag bol I just knocked up. Fantastic. Good morning, dudes. Well, got the hiking shoes on this morning and we're off to the forts. Let's go. Being an old dude, I'm going to cheat a bit. I'm going to catch the bus up to the start of the track. So off the bus and there's the start of the walk. Better keep an eye out on this walk. Got to watch out for drop bears. See if we can find one. I think they must have found a drop bear. So they're pretty docile during the day, but at night time, watch out. Looks like a bit of climbing from here on up. Probably a bit steeper. It's the foundation of the women's latrine and ablution block. So there used to be women up here when it was being used as a fort. They were involved in signalling and I guess first aid and all those sort of things. This is the track into the officers' latrine and ablution block. All that's left is the foundations. Would have been showers here, I guess, and obviously toilets here. Remnants of a couple of pans and a septic tank. They're pretty well set up. Even a grease trap down there to carry away the effluent from the showers, I guess. This was a workshop and store area. They had machinery to keep the fort maintained, fix the guns, equipment. Typical scene of repair of army vehicles. Pretty big pad, so it was a pretty important building here, I'd reckon. So this was the kitchen and the OR mess. So the other ranks used to dine here. I'd say maybe a couple of cool rooms there. Some sort of fireplace, I'd imagine. So here's a powder keg. This is where all the ammunition was stored. Big thick walls there, 12 inches thick. Pretty dark. It's a range finding station. They'd obviously have some mechanism on there to see how far away the target was. So here's one of the gun emplacements. The guns were mounted on the circular thing you can see in the middle. They could rotate 360 degrees and they had a range of 18.3 kilometres. So the blockhouses you can see at the back, they'd store some ammunition there and obviously ferry it down from the other one further away. The whole thing was camouflaged. They had nets over the top and there was camouflage all over the guns so they couldn't be seen from the air. And the guns were manned by a crew of 15 people. And the first firing was on the 16th of March 1943 when 30 rounds were aimed at a practice target midway across the bay. In 2 years of fort's operation, the only shot fired in anger is said to have been directed at a US Navy boat that arrived unannounced. What a welcome. Okay. The disappearance of the guns remains a mystery. Elsewhere in the Pacific, US troops simply dumped equipment in the sea. Perhaps our guns are in a watery grave. I'm just reading this off a board, so perhaps after the war they just dismantled the guns and dumped them. We'll go and have a look at the command post first, eh? This is the command post, about as high as we can get on the island, I think. Go up and have a look. This would be another rangefinder up here, I imagine. So this one's inside the actual blockhouse. So pretty thick walls here. They're probably 14 inches thick, probably 500 millimetres thick. Built to take a blast, I guess. Great views from here, right down to Horseshoe Bay and all over Magnetic Island, and even right over to Townsville. Well, it was a bit of a steep one for an old dude, but not too bad. Definitely not as bad as Whitsunday Peak, that's for sure. It's pretty doable. The last bit's a little bit steep, but the track all the way up is quite moderate actually. And the views are fantastic, so for nothing else. And it's good to have a look at the history, what went on back in 1942, 43, till about 46, I guess. We were pretty worried about being invaded, that's for sure. Okay, well this is about as high as I can get, so it's time to head back down, and the good thing about that, it's all downhill. Anyway, good fun.